Hello. And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with your Sensei Alban. And I haven't really been posting anything because fall has been exquisite, and I really haven't had any money to go anywhere, do anything. But I went to church today, my three churches, my Ku Klux Klan Baptist Church, my We Own Everything Methodist Church, and God gave it to us, so don't ask for anything from us. And the Pagan Catholic Church, which are definitely the most fun. Right? So here I am. I just had my Sunday brunch, vegetables, right? The vegetable platter, 4 choices, and I'm about to have my dessert I'm going to share with you. And so it's and my getting a hold of me. Oh, thank you, my brother. You're welcome. Yep. You can take that away. Yep. Apple pie, yes. Now, this is sugary, and I'm diabetic, but I can have one of these a month. Well, the pie is about $3, $4. The vegetables are about $5. And, it's about $8. And that's about all the money I have until the first week of November. Now, when Russia, that supplies most of Europe's energy, basically kind of, the tap was turned off. The interesting thing was actually Russia made more money. And what's really interesting, you look on the New York stock market, all the oil companies had the best year they ever had. Well, guys like me, gasoline went from $2.75 a gallon to $5 a gallon. So I really can't afford to go out and about. So I used to, back when it was $2.75, and my car was in pretty good shape, I had to spend my whole October's funds for fixing my car. So now my car is, not as deadly as it was, but it's old. It's like me, creaky, right? Well, I was looking at that video that I did on John's channel. That 90,000 people watch that video, right? And John made, I don't know how much money on that. And he said, oh, we got to do more videos. So I did one about Hendrix, and one about Andy Warhol, and one about David Bowie, and a few more. And they all got between 20 and 70,000. And he never connected any of those shows, which are still on his channel, to my channel, Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Alban. So it'd be really great if you guys could send some money to my, give me some likes, and send me some money to my PayPal at the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. And even the trolls, why don't you send me some money too? Huh? Well, you know, people think that it's like the worst it's ever been. Not really. Um, you know, we fought a war in Afghanistan for 20 years. You know? We killed about 6 million people in the Mideast, including, Iraq, Libya, Syria, things in Africa. Well, same as it ever was, right? But the real deal is, what are you doing, right? Well, here, winter's coming. It's not even cold yet, and yet it's cold. So, this week coming, it's going to be like in the 20s at night, and in the 50s during the day. I'm also going to have some real gully washers. And, this winter, this summer, in July, beginning of weather, I live in a rainforest, right? So we often have gully washers, where it rains like an inch or two in 3 hours. And that's a lot of rain, right? Flash floods. I'm in the bottom of a hollow. So all these mountains on the drain. And I have spent years developing my drainage, and it all works very nicely. And but the rich have come in and ripped and tore tops of mountains, so way more water now goes down the Forest Service road, right? And there's one moron from Florida whose mommy pays all his bills, right? And I think, I have no idea, but he got some money then. He spends, and he goes, I can't, I love it when people who have money, A, think they're rich, and B, always go, I have no money, I can't help you. And I help this guy all the time. And so he destroyed the road last summer. And everyone else yelled and screamed at him, but me, at some point, he'd have to fix it because it affected him worse than my vehicle has small wheelbase. So I was just there on my front lawn, smile. And one of his, what I call usual suspects, but he has 8 to 10 people go up and down that road every day. They come to his place, and he has it set up like a military compound. He has big, in our forest we have blackberries, right? Big, sharp pointed blackberry bushes all around, right? He tore them all out so he could put a fence. And I said, the best fence was those blackberries you tore out. Anyway, and again, everything's a metaphor. So I see what's going on around me, just out there in the middle of nowhere, and it resonates to the insanity what's going on in Ukraine and China and Africa and Europe and the United States. I was listening to as a gabber, who I really enjoy. Now, I would like to see her going up against Donald Trump instead of Hillary Clinton. And here she is on Joe Rogan.
In of itself, we're not surprised by that. But we continue to see
general.
The values and moral corruptness of Putin firsthand here. The Ukrainians are not going to give in to this at all. And they are steadfast and resolute in their determination to get their people back and their country back.
Yeah, steadfast and resolute. It's incredible the courage of the Ukrainians. Russia is doing this presumption.
When I was a kid, I grew up in Harlem early on, and everyone thinks Harlem's a black place. No, center from Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard up is, black. On Second Avenue, every few blocks with different nationalities. Ukrainian, Yugoslavian, Russian, and not just that, but all the different types of Russians, all the different types of Ukrainians. And in school, I had all these friends, every color, every nationality. And our public school was in, and I was in the kind of public school I was going to was like daycare. They didn't call it daycare, but it was at Columbia University, right there on the west side of Harlem. Up above it, on the way west side, was Spanish Harlem, but it was really Caribbean. It was Puerto Rico. It was everyone from that neck of the woods. And next to them were the Irish and the Italians. And that was like right on the top of where all those universities. Because it wasn't just Columbia. The Jewish folk had a great Lubavitcher, great theologic center of the Torah. And the Methodists had a great university and a gigantic cathedral, Cardinal Kaufman's cathedral. And that guy was great. I mean, anybody who wanted to do something in service to the public, he'd let them do it in his place. And so we would be let off in these institutions by, their parents, my grandma. But, me, I was with my grandma a good deal of the time. I was still go there because she needed a break from me. And I wanted to hang with my friends, right? This is like, between the age of 5 and 8. And before, going to first grade. And basically, I learned Latin and Greek. The schools I went to make colleges today look like nothing. So back in that day, I had experienced many things, right? But collectively, John, the canary in the social coal mine, here's our boy.
Humana presents 3 questions you should ask when looking for a Medicare plan. Is your doctor included in the plan's network? What?
Before and after. What's the difference, kids? He shaved the hair off his body. He can't stand the hair on his body. I mean, God put it there for a reason, right? Let's see. I am going to do a live meditation to see where we go with that, right? Boo, 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 boo. Yep, here we are. Going live. Let's see what Telsey Together have to say.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Joe Rogan.
So, with things like funding the Ukraine war with Russia, please explain to people what that means and why we're sending so much money over to Ukraine.
So let's start with
This
with
lady
that.
should
Let's
be
start
our
with the
president.
military-industrial complex. What is it? Who is it?
She's
It
left
is
the
these
Democratic Party.
massive defense corporations who make all these different weapon systems, from the smallest to the most powerful nuclear weapons and missiles. When we are at war, they make a lot of money.
That's why we were in
politicians,
Afghanistan for 20
even if
years.
we're not at war but are threatening that we may go to war, they make a lot of money. And these decisions are not made within the context of, hey, what does our military actually need? What do we need
And she's
to
still in the
ensure that our
military.
military is ready to defend
And
our
she is a
country and our
congresswoman.
national security interests? It is very often what members of Congress are advocating for, even more than the military is asking for sometimes, because of those cozy relationships with the military-industrial complex, with these massive defense contractors and lobbyists. So there's a direct correlation as the money is changing hands there. The problem is not with the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. On this issue, when you see so much divisiveness on tons of other issues facing our country, everything from infrastructure to education, all these other things, it's like, oh my gosh, Democrats and Republicans can't agree on anything. This issue of
Something to agree on.
putting our country in a continual state of war is supported by leaders in both parties and the majority of people in both parties, and it's directly tied to the military-industrial complex's influence and tied to people who, want to act and look tough, but aren't asking the most important questions, like, okay, if we do this, will this help the American people or hurt the American people? If we vote to, send these billions of dollars to Ukraine, is that strengthening our national security or undermining it? You'll hear a lot of rhetoric, especially recently, saying, hey, if we've got to send all this money to Ukraine, otherwise Russia's going to come and attack us here. Otherwise, our national security will be undermined. They say all these things to foment fear in people's minds, but they're not rooted in reality. So what we're seeing play out now is essentially a proxy war. U.S. is engaging in a proxy war with Russia, using Ukraine as their military. So the U.S. and some European countries, predominantly the U.S., though, are providing billions of dollars in funding, weapon systems, and so forth, and essentially waging this war using the Ukrainian military and people as their chess pieces in this geopolitical chess game. The ultimate objective being regime change with Russia. And you can see years before, obviously, Russia's invasion in Ukraine, this anti-Russia sentiment has been building up by the permanent Washington establishment and laying the groundwork. And this was the opportunity that they saw. It's put us in the most dangerous position we, the American people, and the world has ever been in.
This changes everything we know about Alzheimer's. After using the most powerful atomic microscope in the
relationship to your children, before they become desperate and things fall. Because energy is equivalent to work, and because work is equivalent to food and shelter, if you make energy expensive, what you do is you starve the poor. And you don't have to starve them very much before they become desperate and things fall apart, and then we fall into these positive feedback loops. And so when you hear these bloody globalist utopians talk about the necessity for higher energy costs, you remember that comes directly at the cost of the world's poor. Chrystia Freeland, the Deputy Prime Minister of Canada, 2 weeks ago had the unmitigated and I would say quasi-demonic gall to announce publicly that $8 a gallon gasoline in Canada was actually probably a good thing, because Canadians should be reminded nonstop just how severe the climate crisis is every time they fill up their cars. And that's perfectly bloody fine unless you're living on the edge of your economic capability. And the fact that you can't afford to fill up your car anymore puts you into unemployment and food deprivation in relationship to your children. And that's in the rich West. And now in Europe, we're so goddamn stupid on our energy policy because of these idiot environmental schemes that we've made ourselves pathologically reliant on the Russians. And we're going to bloody well see what that costs us. And I know the Germans are burning coal again because their switch, massively expensive and counterproductive switch to so-called renewals, has been another catastrophe. And so now God only knows how expensive energy is going to become. The Dutch government put pressure on the farmers recently because a legislative body that was EU controlled, that's my understanding, decided in favor of an idiot environmental group and the court compelled the government. That's a non-legislative body, by the way. The court compelled the government to act in relation to the farmers. And apparently the farmers have had enough of this.
The bureaucrats in Brussels, they are ruling by decree, right? And of course, it has nothing to do with nitrogen. Here they're talking about nitrogen. It has nothing to do with nitrogen. It has nothing to do with ammonium. It has to do with numerous things. One is taking the land, just as happened with Stalin in Ukraine, with labeling the farmers cool.
That comes directly at the cost of the world.
Written right here.
Okay.
Because this has happened.
So you can get the picture, right? So I just wanted to show you that the level of chaos and insanity that's going on. And then, you got guys shaving their chests and thinking that's important, and other people going on about individual political and economic spheres that they think is important. And no one is, and I just came from 3 different churches, and I don't go to their services, I go to their Bible studies because they kind of line up. The Ku Klux Klan Baptists start off around 9. The We Own Everything Methodists, WASP, White Anglo-Saxon Protestants, start up around 10:30, and then the Catholics are about 11:30, and those 2 churches are right next to each other. So I just go to their Bible studies. And, the Catholics, it's just they play bingo. So, but the other guys just read the Bible out of total context and go on and on and on about, do what we say, not what we do. And so, and I'm always there to speak up for Jesus, speak up for God's unconditional love. And I know the Bible real well, so I quote it, I have it all. No matter what they say, I can just pick out a section and read it and bring forth what I'm talking about. And so I'm going to do a guided meditation right now. 23 minutes into this video, we're going to do a guided meditation. And we're going to do it with our friend, Mr. Magic. We're going to see if we can get him on the phone and then do a guided meditation with him. And then he can be the antenna, right? So let's see if we can get him on the phone. Here we go. So everyone,
Hi.
Hey there, handsome.
All right, you ready for the guided meditation?
Yes, I am. So, are you in a comfortable place, like a chair or a bed, or someplace where your body can be safe?
Is lying down okay? I promise.
Oh, lying down is perfect.
All right, let me get my get some earbuds.
Yeah, get some earbuds. So, everyone, get yourself in a comfortable place, right? And
got a few people on. Good.
Yeah. You're going to be the spiritual antenna. And don't crawl, lie down in your bed or in your chair, but put your body in a safe place, because when you're going into state, your consciousness will rise above it, right? And so your body will go into autonomic autopilot, right? And but you want to put it in a safe place so it doesn't roll around or fall down or any of the above, right? So you set in a nice comfy place, Mr. Magic?
Yes.
Okay, so what we do now is at this point, we focus our conscious breath, the thing that little squirrel in our head that's always, I got to do this, I have to do this, blah, 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 where you can't slow down, can't shut up. That is the little squirrel in your metal Rolodex of a mind. And you are not your mind, right? It's just a Rolodex. So the way to shut that down or put your bag of water, your material avatar into autopilot, into park, is to basically breathe deeper, 20-30% deeper in, fill your lungs, fill your lungs, fill your lungs, and then expel, breathe out. And you're going to breathe out even more, 30 or 40, because when you breathe out more, you're making space for more breath to come in. So then you breathe in and you fill those lungs, and you fill those lungs. And you only way you can do this is to use your conscious mind, your conscious avatar mind, to control your lungs. Okay, lungs, breathe this way, because naturally we don't breathe this way. Naturally, we breathe very shallowly, and we don't have enough of the mitigating and healing sources. So when you're breathing in, what you are breathing in is not just the atmosphere, oxygen, nitrogen, and all the other trace elements. You're breathing in prana. And prana is the life force. That is love's co-creation. That is a physical representation of that, right? And your body resides on earth. And earth is the ground, or the chi, right? So you breathe in the prana and you ground it out in the chi, right? So that you're creating a circuit, a healing circuit. So I'm going to count from 1 to 3. And as I do, your conscious mind is going to go deeper and deeper and deeper in a state of relaxation where your consciousness is elevated and freed, right? And you will no longer be stuck in your avatar. Right? Your avatar will be right there, very nicely, sitting down or lying down, whatever you chose, and nothing is crossed. You don't cross your arms, you don't cross your legs, or your fingers, or nothing. So you don't break the circuit. So, and that's why when people lie, they cross their fingers. They're breaking the circuit of truth. So, 1, you're in a deep, 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 deep state of conscious relaxation, going deeper and deeper. The conscious mind is totally focused on your breath. You see that prana, that golden prana, come in. You breathe it in through your nose. You fill your lungs up deeper, 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 30-40% deeper than you normally do, because now you're consciously breathing, not unconsciously breathing. And then you breathe out. And when you're breathing out, you're expelling more toxins, more waste products than your body eliminates when you defecate, urinate, sweat, breath. I mean, you breathe something on the order of a few 100,000 cubic milliliters of atmosphere every day. When you defecate, you are defecating, maybe, a few, quarter pound, if that. Probably most people don't even defecate that. And urine, because you don't drink enough water, you probably just, maybe a quarter of a liter you urinate. And your sweat, unless it's really hot. So basically, most of the toxins are in your body. So in this process of breath, you are eliminating more toxins. And they're the toxins that are more, because they are gas in characteristic, they are more active. They're more energetic. And so when you eliminate those active toxins, you're healing your body better than almost anything else. So 1, your conscious mind is totally focused on your breath. You're going deeper and deeper and deeper. And you're letting go all of your physical anxieties, right? Because your body is now on automatic. And your consciousness is not connected to your avatar, to your body, right? So going deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're letting go, and you are visualizing yourself surrounded by your prana, and you're breathing in your prana, and you are letting go of all your anxieties, right? And so as you're breathing this in, it is going in through your nose into your lungs, right? And all of that golden energetic prana is being carried by your blood all through your body to every cell of your body. So I want you to visualize in your imaginary mirror. And your imaginary mirror is your eyelids. You know, when you were asleep and you were dreaming, you have rapid eye movement. And what you're seeing is you're watching a movie on your eyelids. That's called your imaginary mirror. So see yourself in your imaginary mirror surrounded by this golden light, and you're breathing it in, and it's going to every cell of your body, and it's healing everything that's wrong, every physical malady you have. So I have a lot of physical maladies, and every morning I wake up and I do this process for myself for somewhere between 20 minutes and an hour. And it actually heals every problem I have. Not for good, but so I can get out of bed and walk around and get on with my day without having to take any, pharmaceuticals or self-medicate myself. And that's people who drink and take drugs. They're basically self-medicating. They're suffering and they have no idea how to get out of that suffering. And if they only knew, all they had to do is breathe deeply and breathe out twice as much, and their problems would go away with their breath, right? Just blow it away, right? So there you are. You're in a deep, deep, deep state of relaxation. Your conscious mind is totally focused on your breath. And you are visualizing, you're standing right in front of your imaginary mirror, right? And you're seeing yourself, this glow all around you. You see the prana going into your lungs. You see the blood pumping through your lungs and carrying that prana to every cell of your body. You see the prana go into the cell. You see it go, through the biological cell membrane. You see it go into the nucleus. You see it go from this kind of gray, and they're all stuck together, these cells. You see it that, like energized, and it's like a bell rings. It's a frequency. You can heal yourself with frequency. That's why music is so powerful. And the frequency, and you see all your cells separate and vibrate to that. And it heals every cell of your soul and every cell of your body. And you get what is known as homeostasis, meaning balance. Your body is balancing, right? Which now allows your spirit to be freed. So you aren't your body, right? Your body is just an avatar. So you can experience, if you read in the Bible, I was reading Paul today, and he was going on and on about that. And but he wasn't saying that you're not your body. He was saying that you got to do what God tells your body to do. But that's not really how it works. So your body is not you, and your soul is not a big deal. Your soul is just the golden thread that goes from your higher chakras up into your Akashic records, right? And that process, the Akashic records, is like this server of your spirit, right? It collects all the data that you experience in all of your lives and everything that's going on, right? So, one, you're in a deep, 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 deep state of relaxation, going deeper and deeper. Your conscious mind is totally focused on your breath, and you are really relaxed. You are no longer in your body. Your consciousness isn't in your body. And you're standing in front of your imaginary mirror, and you step through your imaginary mirror, and you go into your Akashic record, and you look all around. It's a big, gigantic library. And it looks like it's made up of all these gigantic stones, but you look closer, and those stones aren't stones. They're books, right? Big books, really big books, right? And you look at this gigantic fireplace that you could drive a tractor trailer through, and it too isn't made out of stone. It is made out of books, Akashic records, right? And inside this gigantic fireplace is not a gigantic burning fire, but a blue flame, which is your spirit, the Holy Spirit, the Christians go on about the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's that blue flame is the Holy Spirit, right? Your twin flame, right? And in front of the fireplace, there are these nice leather easy chairs with a coffee table, so you could have friends drop by and sit there, and you would have coffee and tea and crumpets. And then behind that is a reading table, right? And above it comes a light that you can't see where it's coming from. And you put your hands over the reading table, and that light, which is bright, shows no shadow. So that light is photonic light, and that's what prana is, photonic energy. And there are no shadows. There is no lies. With a photonic light and energy, it's what it is. You see 100% what it is, right? So your reading table is illuminated with this photonic light. And there is a beautiful reading chair that you can, nice leather, soft, cushy, but strong back, so your back is up straight. And to your left, you see three guides. One is your librarian. I want you to visualize your librarian. See what gender it is, how it's dressed, what it looks like, the energy you get from your librarian. See it, because your librarian will bring you the Akashic records, the books you need to see, right? She's your librarian. She will bring you the information you need. And next to the left of your librarian is your animal totem. And your animal totem is your griot. And so your animal totem represents the spirit guide that you need. So you can read things, see things in your Akashic record, and you may not understand them, right? They may be above you. And you haven't been able to understand it because you have spent your whole life understanding things, meaning seeing things from everything above you, and that you're in the valley and everything's up on the mountaintops. Overstanding is where you see things from the mountaintops. You get the overview, right? And that's what your animal totem is there. So see your animal totem, see what animal it is, see the energy you get from it, see how you feel about it, see it clearly, right? And to the left of your animal totem is your guardian angel. Your guardian angels are to watch your back. Now, you've gone through your life, you've done some really stupid things. You've been in car crashes or shootouts or a whole bunch of things where you thought you were going to die, but you didn't, because your guardian angel had your back and you had more stuff to do, right? So those are your three guys: your librarian, your animal totem, and your guardian angel. See them clearly, right? Now sit down at your reading table, and your librarian brings you this big book, puts it in front of you, you open it up, and there are these two gigantic pages that are 2 foot by 1 foot, big pages, and they're blank. And you put your right hand on the right page and the left hand on the left page, and you lean into the book and you evacuate, meaning you throw up, you eliminate every piece of gunk, garbage, negativity, self-loathing out of your mouth. Right there. It's like a fire hose. It splats right on the book, and it's like a Rorschach test, and it's constantly changing. It's not just black and there it is. It's like oozing around there and making picture after picture after picture after picture after picture, and you're looking at it and you're seeing it. It's like your conscious mind's like click, click, click. You're taking pictures of it, right? So now close the book. Ooh, boom. And now all of that gunk, all of that garbage, all of that self-loathing, all that fear, all that hate, all that anger, all of that egotism is no longer inside you. You've eliminated it. It's now in your Akashic records. Now open up the book, bingo, and it opens up right there. But instead of having a oozing, image, what you see is a big screen with 28 little screens all around it. And on that screen, those images that you saw as the Rorschach are now being demonstrated as like a moving film, a editorial on what was going on, right? And you may not have picked up on what those Rorschach images represented, but now you're seeing it played out as a movie. And those 28 little screens all the way around it gives you you live in 28 dimensions, not just one or three, right? 28. And those screens show the image of representation of those spaces that you can see. So see it clearly, right? So lean back and take a good look at those two pages. See the big screen and the 28 screens all around it, right? And see how it changes. Every time you see something, you go, I wonder what that, bingo, one of those 28 screens is going to tell you what's going on, right? So I'm going to be quiet for a moment, and I want you to experience this clearly, 100% totally. And I will start speaking after I sense that you have gotten the hang of it, okay? And two, you're in a deep, 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 deep state of relaxation, deeper than you've ever been before. You have left your avatar, and your avatar is safe and sound. And if you need to, I can bring you back immediately. But for now, you're taking this journey, right? And you're now in your Akashic records, a library. And Freud would have called this your subconscious mind, but it's your Akashic record, really. And when you call it your subconscious mind, you're basically handing over the power of that space to something else, to a more institutionalized view, right? So get into the idea that you are the decider. You have the control. You're at the steering wheel. You can manifest the life you want. You don't have to be orchestrated by religion or church or state or physical drives or your body, any of the above, right? So see that clearly. And now I want you to see there it is, the big screen, and there's 28 images. And along the bottom of the screen, just like your computer, there's a little red line with a dot on it, cursor, right? And so wherever that is, put your finger on it and then move it to the left. And it'll take you blip, 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 through all of your past lives. It'll take you all the way back to where your conscious spirit, not mind, not soul, not body, but conscious spirit, which is part of all our relations, meaning every creature that exists on this plane of existence, every vertebrate, non-vertebrate, skinned, scaled, furred, feathered, warm-blooded, cold-blooded, every creature is all our relations. And we're connected from the beginning, from the alpha to the omega, right? And there is no time. We just experience it because we have this avatar that frames everything in a non-existent linear time, right? So, but you are in your Akashic record. And so you can put your little finger on that line and take it all the way back to once your consciousness showed up here. And I want you to go there and see what you first can. You could have come here as a snowflake or a grain of sand, and I want you to just slowly take your finger along that red line and see all of the different places you have been as a spirit and what lessons you have learned or forgot or been forced to, constantly, come back and relearn it and relearn it and relearn it and relearn it, right? And get that message. See it clearly. I'm going to be quiet now for a moment or two while you're investigating your past lives, and you can go and see your future life, but within the construct of the Akashic record, the future is not quite set in stone. I mean, it is, but it's not, because you're put here to basically experience and learn. And if things were set in stone, you wouldn't learn anything. So yes, I mean, things are semi set in stone, but it's not. And you are not living this experience as the avatar that you are at this moment. It's a very limited experience from that avatar's point of view, and you have a much broader point of view as spirit. So see it clearly, because you are part of not only all our relations, you are part of what people would call God. I don't like using that term, but the great maker, or whatever you want to call it, we are part of that because
Doing a guided meditation with Cal Bomber.
Yep, guided meditation with Alba. So here we are, and you're in your Akashic record, and you're seeing your past lives and a little shadow of your future. And wherever you come to a thing that you really don't understand, turn to your animal totem and say, "So what is this? Tell me a story." And your animal totem. So I want you to pick something that you've seen so far that you're scratching your head about, and ask your animal totem, and have that experience of a relationship with your animal totem. You've had the relationship with your librarian bringing you the text, and that truly is a relationship because your librarian brings it to you and you accept it and you understand this is what you need to know. You may not have any idea what it is or any of the things, but that's what your librarian does. Your animal totem helps you understand the things you don't understand, and your guardian angel always has your back. So you feel this warmth at your back that you're protected. See it clearly, right? See it clearly. All these things, see clearly. And I'm going to be quiet for a moment, and I want you to ask your animal totem a question or two and have them tell you a story that explains something you don't understand so you can understand that process. See it clearly. So, two, you're in a deep, 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 deep state of conscious meditation. See it clearly. And breathe in deeply. And feel that prana heal every cell, every cell of your body. All of the disappointment, all of the self-loathing, all of those things that cause you to be mean to other people and yourselves without you even knowing you're being mean to yourself, right? See yourself clearly as that entity, that spirit that is in co-creation with love. I mean, no matter how dark you are, no matter what kind of troll you are, see yourself as love's co-creation. See it clearly. And in every day and every way, take the peace of the earth and make it stronger with your service to love's co-creation as one love. You are the aboriginal artist in the first person, right? That person who scrolled that image on the cave. See it clearly. And now you are learning how to navigate through your Akashic record. You are going up and down the timeline. You're seeing all the different things that have occurred to you. Now, hit the button. There's also a keypad that you can type in, and all you really have to do is think of the question. You don't have to type it in. And the question you should ask is, so far, my past lives, what am I supposed to learn? What is the major question? Why am I repeating, and not learning? Or what am I learning? So see that clearly. Let that come up on the screen. Let those images come to you. Let the your animal totem assist you. If any new texts need to be brought, your librarian will. And you don't have to be scared of anything you see because your guardian angel has your back. See it clearly. Now, two, you're in a deep, deep, deep state of conscious relaxation, and you are no longer in your avatar. Your avatar is on automatic, safe, secure. All I have to do is snap my fingers and you'll be right back in it. But for now, you're in your Akashic record. You're having, a learning tutorial on how to do this. And the best time, like anything else, practice makes perfect. And so the best time to practice this is before you go to bed and just after you wake up, right? So what you do is, you're in bed, you're ready to go to sleep, and you start breathing, and you visualize, I'm going to take everything that happened today and go into my Akashic record, bring out the blank page, and evacuate everything that happened today onto that screen so I can see what I had to learn, what I forgot, what I didn't do, how I can make the next day run better, right? So you do that, and you visualize that you're going to consciously dream and dream about what you want to dream about. And part of that will run through dream time, what you're going to do tomorrow, right? In work or play or whatever you're going to do, you're going to visualize it, and you can, put the guideposts of what you want to do, how you want to do it, see it clearly, right? So there's that. So I want you to do that, and that's when you go to sleep, right? So you dream and dream and dream. You have all these things, and you can remember everything. Nothing is like escapes you. You may not understand it, but it's there. So when you wake up and you go, wow, I wonder what all that was about. That's when you go back into dream time, back into meditation, back into your Akashic record. And all of that stuff is in your Akashic record, and you can see it on the screen. And once you see it, your consciousness can deconstruct it and understand what it's meaning. And your animal totem can tell you a story or two about what's going on there. And your guardian angel will always have your back. So no matter what pops up, you don't have to be scared. You can see that the monster is just a cartoon scratched on the frame, right? That that none of that stuff that causes you fear is in your nightmares. It's really, I mean, why do people go watch horror films? Because they like to be scared. And our nightmares are just like that, to like get our attention. So if we're conscious when we're dreaming, conscious dreaming, we can see everything that happens, and we can put it into perspective, and it will be there in our Akashic records that in the morning we can, oh, look at this. And when you're in state, what seems like hours in state is just moments, seconds, nanoseconds here in the in the make-believe timeline of reality, right? So see it all clearly. Put things into perspective. Get comfortable with your Akashic record. Get comfortable with your librarian. Get comfortable with your animal totem. Get comfortable with your guardian angel. I'm going to be quiet while you're getting comfortable. See it clearly. And 3, you're in a deep, 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 deep state of relaxation. You have increased your breath by 20 or 30% and increased your exhaltation by 30 or 40%. You've eliminated all of the dread, the fear, the anxiety, the self-loathing into your Akashic record. You've gotten a good perspective of all those issues. You have cleansed your inside out, like scrubbed those scrubbing bubbles of the prana, have taken care of whatever physical problem your body has, which is just a manifestation of some psychic trauma that you may or may not have had. And it's putting things into homeostasis, into balance. See it clearly. See yourself being balanced. See it clearly. And now you're so illuminated that you're lighter than air. And so you kind of float out of your chair, right? And you kind of, like skip across your library of your Akashic record, and over to the right, there are the 9 doors, right? And one of those doors, which is directly right to your right, is open, right? The other ones are closed, and you have big, strong doors and big locks, but and one is open. So you kind of, like a balloon, bounce over to it, and you go through it. And there's a vent horizon, and you go through it, and it's like an electric, like static electric charge, right? And you're delivered from your Akashic record into your what is called your vestibule of your spirit. And in front of you, it's a very nicely appointed vestibule all around, and there's stairs in front of you, and you kind of go up those stairs, and they lead into a bridge of golden bricks, right? And that is your id. That takes you across from your Akashic record or your subconscious across into your superconscious mind, your sanctuary of your own choosing. But you're right up there at the top of the steps just before you step on those golden bricks, and you look back and you see that doorway is no longer a doorway, but a shimmering liquid mirror. And it shows you that is that event horizon between all of that which we consider reality and all of that on the other side of our dreamy dreamline into our superconscious mind, where love's co-creation exists in balance with us. As soon as your foot hits one of those golden bricks, it's like more than just a static charge. It's like an electric charge. And you are walking across it, and right, you're at the top, and you're looking out all around you, and you're seeing your superconscious mind, the sanctuary of your own choice. You see the great meadow. You see the great lake of the link. You see the forest of good and evil, truth and knowledge. You see the carnival and the circus and the hedgerow longhouse, which is where everyone can go and speak and be heard. And there is the gazebo right in front of the meadow, the big bandstand, right? And so you're walking down and you're at the last golden step. And before you step in there, um, you hear a voice and you're looking around and you see an entity. I'm not going to describe it because this entity is your guide there. And my entity, when I first was shown this, was basically Jiminy Cricket. But Jiminy Cricket as a little cricket, but a black Jesus Jiminy Cricket, JC Jiminy Cricket, And I was about to step on him and say, hey, buddy, look where you're stepping. And I kind of looked around and just heard him say that. And I looked down, oh, what are you? Because I'm your guide here in your superconscious mind. Don't step on me. So I didn't. But you see, you're on that last step. Your leg is hovering before it steps onto the terra firma of your superconscious mind. See it clearly and see, what your guide could be. The 20-story tree. It could be anything. So just see what your guide is, and then step, right? And you will feel something that you may never have felt consciously before, and that is love's co-creation in everything that you are. That you realize that you are, the reflection of God's love, right? God created. Again, I don't like using that word because it's a very weak word, and people, when they put too much lean on it too hardly, they let go of the responsibility they have in their own life. So see that clearly. You are the decider, right? See it clearly. And so there you are. You're in your sanctuary, and I want you to just walk around with, your not animal, but your guide of your superconscious mind, whatever it is, and that sensibility of the connective energetic tissue between you and the great creator. You feel it burning, that twin flame you saw in the fireplace at your Akashic record. That's now, you are that fireplace. That flame is inside of you. See it clearly. I'm going to be quiet now, and you're going to just go investigate everything all around you. And it'll be like a week-long vacation. And I'll just sit here drinking coffee for a moment or two and then come back. And you will have experienced a whole frigging week of hanging out with God. You can go to the movies, go dancing, bowling, playing tennis, golf, eating lots of great food, water skiing, whatever you want to do. It's your sanctuary. You can do whatever you want. So go to it, kids.
He was to enter for a $25,000 shopping spree. So I did it. Well, then they were
And 3, you're in your sanctuary of your own choosing, your superconscious mind. You've just had a nice week-long vacation. You feel safe, secure, relaxed. You feel better than you ever have. You can't even think of a time that you felt this good. You have no worries, nothing's bothering you. And anything that was bothering you before you, it has been put into perspective, and it's like not bothering you. So you can do this. And once you practice this, I do this 10, 15, 20, 100 times a day, right? And to my mind, this is what prayer is, right? As I go into this state, I get to a place where I'm with God's unconditional love. I see and look at everything, and it pulls together and makes sense. It doesn't matter this happens or that happens or what I wanted to have happen. It doesn't matter because things are in balance. So see it clearly. And this enables you to, be the decider, make choices about your life, right? And be there, right? See it clearly. So you come, you're sitting at the great meadow, and you sitting on a picnic blanket, and you've got this beautiful picnic lunch, and you're eating it with all the people you want to eat it with, all the people you care about, all the people you love, God's unconditional love, Jesus' unconditional forgiveness, your guide, everybody. You're just having a great old party, right? And in front of you is this big gazebo, right? And the band is playing, and people are dancing, and you're kind of tapping your toe and humming along. And then you are told inside your heart that you should go up to the gazebo, right? Go up those steps, right? Go up, 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 up. And now you're on there, and the band is no longer there. It's just you. You're all by yourself. And you look down in the meadow, all those people were there. They're kind of still there, but they're not, right? It's just you and love's co-creation, 100%, right? And you feel great. And you get the sense from love's co-creation that you should think of that question that has always troubled you, always burnt. That's been the raison d'etre of why you do what you do and why you don't do what you do, or you should do. You always, I wish I did that. Whatever that question is, think of it clearly. Don't tell me or anybody else. Just think of it clearly, and face towards the great lake, that big lake out there, right? And that lake is the lake. Well, it's called the Great Lake. That's where everything came from, right? All of life, all existence. Everything is connected there. It's a liquid, and that's what liquid is. It's a energetic field that can be a solid, as ice. It can be a gas, when it gets hot and steams off. It can be a liquid, right? So it is the one thing that can be, and we're made. Our little avatar is 90-something% water, right? So that is, you're looking at that, and that's truth. If you just stuck your pinky into that water or your little toe, bingo, you would be, that water would go all through you because it's a link. It links with every other atom of water in your body, and you see and understand truth, right? And that's why we cry. When we cry about things, whether we're happy or sad, that tear represents the truth, right? And it's rolling down our cheek, and we can either wipe it away or go, then don't cry, or whatever you want to say. But that tear represents the truth. So you're facing the Great Link. You're thinking of the question. You take a 180-degree turn, right? And what you face 180 degrees in the opposite direction from the Great Link is the forest of, the trees that represent, truth, good and evil, right? And you realize, looking at the forest, that all of those things are actually quite subjective, and they just represent different metaphors. They're not true. They're not true like the Great Link is. So you had the question, you looked at the Great Link, you thought of the question, you thought of it, and you made a 180 facing the force of good and evil. And there is a character on that gazebo with you with the answer. And that, again, that character can be anything, a person, an animal, just a little circle with a line on it, like a cartoon giving you the answer. But right now, turn and face it and have that, whatever that answer is, be given to you so you understand the answer to that question that has always been bothering you. See it clearly, right? So you have digested it completely, and now you're stepping down the gazebo, and you're walking over to the bridge of your id that goes from your superconscious mind into your subconscious mind, and all of your companions that you've met on the way of your holiday in your superconscious mind, and all the things you've seen and learned are now firmly inside of your conscious mind. That thing that you can go into your avatar and remember everything that you've experienced, right? It won't flit away. It won't be stored in the server of your Akashic record. It'll be in your conscious mind. So you're going over the bridge, you're coming down the steps into the vestibule, and you step into your library, and there are your guides, your librarian, your animal totem, your guardian angel. And you bow with respect and humility to them, and they are smiling at you and bow with respect and love, and are waiting for you to come back anytime you want to. And once you get into the habit, you can go into state like snap of your fingers, right? And I do that all the time. Here, I'm going to show you. And I've come back, and in that few seconds, I was in my Akashic record and in my superconscious mind, and I spent a good few days, right? And now I'm back here with you, right? And two, you're in your Akashic record, and you are walking towards your imaginary mirror, and you can feel yourself coming into your body, and you're walking through your imaginary mirror, and your eyes are flittering, and you're back in your body. And one, you feel strong, you feel great, you feel renewed, rejuvenated, you feel connected to your avatar, not separate. You feel doorways have been opened. You've gone through that major doorway of the 9 into your superconscious mind. And you realize you can do this anytime you want. There's nothing standing in your way that's not difficult. And whatever obstacles come your way, they're there for a reason, for you to see what they are. People used to go, oh, I can't meditate, I just do it. No. If something gets in your way, it's just like your cell phone. You just split it out of the way. See it clearly, right? And one, you're right now totally back in your body. Your eyes are open. You're looking at the room around you. And then I'm going to say one more time, it's not my fingers. And you will totally 100% be in your body. Wait a few moments, breathe a few breaths, and stretch. And then come to whatever position you want to come to. So one. You're back in your body 100%. Take that big breath in. Let the breath out 30% more. And you're back in your body. And so, Mr. Magic, how did you feel about that? How you doing? Where are you now?
Where am I now? Well, I'm back. A lot better. A lot less frantic. Yeah, I had a lot of stuff to do around the house. It was getting very overwhelming. Can you hear me?
Yeah, kind of. Yep. Mm-hmm. Speak a little louder.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yep.
Motherfucker.
Yep.
That's all right. So who else is on the line?
Oh, who else? There were a few, and they came and left. There's one person left. It might be Mr. Eggplant, who is our troll. His name is You. I've known him a long time, and he comes on. It tries to be different things, but he always goes on about the same thing. So that's the only guy who's there, who I think is there, who was there. But there's still one person. There's 2 thumbs up, and there's you. Yep. Who could chew? Right, exactly. So, when you did you see yourself illuminated in your akasha, in your prana, and see yourself grounded in your chi?
I can't say I saw it, but I felt it.
Okay, you felt it. Okay. And then you went to your imaginary mirror and was able to go through it into your akashic record, the library. What did you see?
I saw the librarian.
What did your librarian look like?
Kind of like a standard issue, like school librarian. Sort of not.
Hair in a bun, hair. Oh.
Yeah, kind of stereotypical.
Wearing glasses.
No glasses.
And your animal totem. What was your animal totem?
That was hard to make out.
Big, small, feathered, skinned, small.
Small, furry.
Small, furry. Okay.
My angel, that's Metatron.
Metatron. Okay.
That's the totem I've been carrying around. No surprise there.
Explain to the audience who Metatron is.
Oh, okay. Well, you want to simplify it?
Yeah, simplify. Just, give them.
Watch Kevin Smith's Dogma. You'll meet Metatron in that movie.
Right.
My name. But to keep it real simple, Metatron is the angel that is the messenger or spokesperson for God's will.
Right.
The idea is that the word being communicated directly from God so overwhelming, it might make your head explode.
Right.
So God in His first created Metatron as an angel to communicate with us here mortals. So he is a messenger of God's will for what we're supposed to do. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So, and when the librarian brought your Akashic record, were you able to see the 2 blank pages and evacuate all the?
Yeah.
So, how did you feel, and what came to your understanding? What did you see or feel?
Well, I mean, I felt a lot better. A lot of the stuff that I hold on to was release, the resentment, fear, anger, frustration. I mean, I was making a concerted effort to push that out of my avatar. Yeah, I just kind of took the direction.
And so then you closed the book, and it was no longer in you, right? You had that feeling, like boom, the book was closed, and right. And then you opened it up, and there's the big screen with the 28 little screens. Did you get anything from that? Any,
That was pretty bizarre. It came to me, there is all the little screen, but the big screen was the best I could describe it. It was like watching a film of all the millions of sperm vying to get into the one egg. And I saw the one little sperm cell that made it into the egg, and it was just like wiggling until just the tail was visible, and then it was absorbed into the egg. That was pretty wild. I unexpected to see that.
The manifestation of creation.
I'll take that.
Good.
I kind of took it as my spirit reflecting back at me and saying, "Hey, man, you were the one who made it. Look, see, I just showed it. You
Yep.
were the one little sperm that you are the one who made it. So
Be
take
happy
time
about
to
that.
reflect on that.
Right.
Be happy about it. You made it.
You made it.
You made it.
It's the gift that keeps giving. Any
Yeah.
other insights?
I don't. Probably, I'm just not. It's just something that's probably gonna reveal itself later on. I don't think that's something that's necessarily going to come to the forefront. Just more of just. I feel a lot more peaceful than I was a few moments ago.
Good.
I didn't realize that I didn't know if we actually said what time yesterday you were going to be reaching out to me.
Right.
But I hadn't, either I forgot or you just kind of tapped in. Because I was sitting at the YouTube on my PC, rooting around. I said, well, I know he wants to do it, but I don't know when I'm going to hear from him again. So I was just going on YouTube looking for the meditations that you had put up, and you called. So I said, oh, okay. So I guess I tapped in, or you tapped in.
The connection was made. Yep.
We tapped in, it was made, the connection.
So did you, were you able to find the other guided meditations I did?
No.
No. Okay. Well, here it is. The real deal.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
At least not. Well,
And I will go back and, because I have a pretty good knack at zipping through my shows and finding things that I want to either see or check out.
That's one of the projects I think we need to look at when you get back, when you get to New York.
Yes.
Would be, because there's software that, I'm assuming you're bringing your laptop with you.
Oh, yeah, I'm bringing all my toys.
I'll bring a laptop out to where you're going to be stationed. And I don't know if we're broadcasting.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
So, and then we could go through them, and I can edit them onto a reel. It could be on a thumb drive.
Right. But that's for another time. We're still talking about this. So.
Okay.
So you eliminated. So you see how, what was interesting is that I was not just talking to you over the internet. I was there kind of by your side, like had taking your pulse of what you were going through, and you actually went into state very easily. You slipped right in. You went every time I was coaching to go deeper and deeper. You went deeper and deeper. You went to all the different states, and you were conscious of that, and so you have imprinted it. So you'll be able to do this. We hang up. You could go and do it again, and if you have time, I would say do it a couple of times, and today, and then do tonight before you go to sleep. Say, okay, I want to get rid of this. I want to look at that. I want to have dreams about this. I want to remember everything. And in the morning, you do the same thing again. You take that few moments, and it can feel like hours. So how long did it feel like you were in state? Like when I said, okay.
It felt like a week.
Yeah, right. And it was like just, a minute, if that.
Well, I think I kind of like imprinted itself because this is a vacation.
Right.
The vacations last a lot longer than 20 minutes.
Right, exactly. But see, you can have a week-long vacation in 20 seconds. When I work in the corporate world and I'd be in these boardrooms and these people being just morons, I would just close my eyes and bingo, go there. And then see what are the few things, what's the real issue of these morons. And it would come straight to me. And then I would, come back and it had only been 20 seconds and they're still going on. And I'd say, excuse me, why don't we look at this? And they would all go, huh? So it was a great tool to do that. And practice makes perfect. And I mean, that's one reason I did that corporate scene for so long. I mean, they paid me ridiculous. I had a really good, fun time doing it. I got 240 pounds heavier and enjoyed every slice of pizza. And I died and came back. I mean, these are all great things, right? So you can build your own fun house and, of magic mirrors that you can see the reflections, all the things you need to see so you can navigate the life you want. You are the decider. I mean, that is you are there to build love's co-creation with God's unconditional love and Jesus' unconditional forgiveness. So
Yeah, I like that.
and this is just a tool. It's not a religion or anything. It's just a simple tool. And all it takes is for you to breathe 20% in more and out 30%. That's all you got to do, you know? And you did it. You did a great job. Because I could tell just by your respiration and your pulse that you were there. You totally, you didn't put anything in the way. You know, there was no big obstacle.
I like all that.
And everyone does have this, but whether they remember it or want to remember it is another story, right?
Yeah, I kind of remember going into states like this as a little kid.
Right.
Well, I prayed a lot when I was really little. And I was sharing this the other day. I said, I'd go on long walks. And I said I would talk to whatever was out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some understood when I said that, others understood. That's fine. I didn't say I was talking to myself. I said I was talking to whatever was out there. And I realized, that I was going long walks. Sometimes my mother would get very upset because I didn't tell her where I was. A couple of times, I'm fairly little. She thought the worst, like I disappeared or I was abducted or whatever. My mom liked to worry about stuff, so she was edified in that regard and put her into a panic. People get what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned that. So that's an aside. But so sometimes they come back, there'd be a fleet car in the house.
Right.
And they would say, "Where were you? You thought you were kidnapped." I said, "No, I was walking." Because I'd be gone like for hours, all day. And it put me at peace. But then I would come home to the crazy house. And I would get mad at God. I would say, well, because I was too little to understand that the peace that I had achieved was for me.
Right.
My family, they have to do that on their own.
Right.
It's not God's responsibility. So, but me as a child didn't understand that. And I thought, well, God's a motherfucker. He's letting me live in this fucking crazy house. What the fuck?
Right.
And, so then I kind of turned off anything like that for a very long time. See, that's like what I told you about. Addicts and alcoholics have a longing to return. You want to go home.
Right.
You want to be reunited with God. And that was the beginning of my journey.
Yep.
To do that, and that's what I'm doing with you.
Right.
So thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
That's what I'm here for.
Right. Exactly. So. And it's
I look forward to seeing you.
Oh yeah, we have things to do, and
my wife, I apologize for the
right.
interruption.
She
just thought I was going to just take another 3-hour nap and not drink.
Right.
I take depression naps, which are no good.
Well, next time we do this, where I give you a guided meditation, you should get your wife to sit down next to you. You do it together. I used to do this in halls of, a few hundred people.
Yeah, I think she'd go.
And virtually everyone would at least go to sleep.
Right. Well, it's funny too. If you're out of practice, I did feel myself drifting off to sleep, but I made sure, to wake up again.
Right.
Because if you don't do it for a while, that's usually what happens.
Yeah. You come to the fork in the road, and you either go to sleep, or you.
Or the people who've never done it before. That's usually the sign. That's a good first sign.
Yeah, that you're doing it right.
That you're doing it because now you're completely relaxed.
Yep.
I remember Rigardi said that most people just don't know how to relax. That's just like the first thing. Like, you know how to relax, then you really can get into deeper meditation.
Right.
But that's usually the first barrier for most folks, not everybody, for most. And I don't realize how under the gun I put myself. And then when I would do the meditation, I was like, oh, I feel myself much. Yeah, well, I'm fucking stressed out.
Right. And I keep saying you're in a deep state of relaxation. Of course, you're going to go to sleep, but you, in that process of going to sleep, you're becoming awake to your.
Well, I felt that it was becoming almost like a lucid dream.
Right. Exactly. That's what it is.
I don't know if you ever have experienced that.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yep. Yep, I do it. I mean, that's one reason. When I go to sleep, I go to sleep between 10 p.m. and midnight, right? Depending on what I'm reading or writing or whatever I'm doing.
Right.
But I have no TV or I have nothing really to distract me,
Good.
So, and it's really super dark where I am. There is no light, right? In a holler and in a nook underneath the holler, my friend calls me a gnome. And so, I just turn the lights off in my place, and it is dark, and I go to sleep. Right, so I do this process, and I say, I want to, analyze this, and this. I want to look at that, and hey, I want to go on this roller coaster ride, or go to Hawaii, or do whatever. Right,
right.
And I drink before I go to sleep at least a liter of water. A good deal of water. Right. 3 or 4 cups of water. And then I go to sleep. So I will wake up at around 3 a.m. to have to go to the bathroom, right? And so I drain my pool and go back to sleep. And by doing that, I wake up and I'm at a certain level of I'm either at beta or theta. And by waking up and then going right back to sleep, I go straight into dream time consciously. And then I can, tool around and do whatever I want consciously, right? Totally conscious of dreaming.
Right. Well, somebody told me a trigger, like a way that you can recognize when you're in a lucid dream, and they said because I did it at work, and I actually wound up doing it again when we were doing meditation. You look around, and if you're in a room and if there's a clock, usually a digital clock,
right?
You look at it, you're going to see that the numbers are all scrambled. It's like shimmering. And it doesn't look right. You're in, and that's supposed to trigger your mind to wake you up, saying you're in a lucid dream right now. You can move around. So as I felt myself going to sleep, and I just said to myself, don't fall asleep. And then was that the moment where you described the book having the one main picture and then all the little pictures around it?
Right.
And I saw in one of those little pictures it reminded me, because I look at the computer screen all day long.
Right.
That's what I see. And there's the date and the time.
Right.
And I noticed that the numbers at the time were all fucked up. And I said, oh shit, you're in a lucid dream. Good. Stay awake.
Yep.
And then I just kind of went with that sort of prompt or energy. And that's where I kind of was. So yeah, I really went down there with you. In the basement, really, going deep in it. Which I'm glad. I needed it.
And you can, and the real deal of doing the first one is it gives you the experience that you can do it yourself anytime you want. You don't need me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good.
And the more, like I said, if an hour from now, you can just and you might do it with your wife, and not okay, honey, you might play the video for her, right? Put it on, and both of you sit and listen to me do this. And you might tell other people, hey, you should go see this guy, Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob, and give them the time and date this one was. And, it's my most recent one, and have them go watch it. Anybody that you think would get a positive experience of this. And actually, this video can be used just like I used it on you,
Right.
So if you need, another tutorial, all you got to do is go to this and put it on and lie down and let it go. And many people who have been listening to me for years basically say they don't really watch the show live. Sometimes they do, but mostly they don't, and they play it like wallpaper.
Yeah, that's what I did when I first got hip to you and made that playlist. I would see that you were on. I said, okay, I'll just go back and make sure I put it on. And that's something when, perhaps we kind of work on the podcast, we can talk about as something to say as the podcast is going on. Like, hey guys, we appreciate that you're listening to us and watching us live, but don't feel obligated. Go back and listen to us later.
Right.
But then then you flip in. But remember, hit like and subscribe.
Right.
And, but that's important because I think a lot of folks, maybe particularly the younger generation, they're into the immediacy.
Right.
So if it's not that immediacy, they kind of lose interest.
Right.
So to be able to say like, hey man, I know you want to watch I don't know, dog farts being lit on fire. That's more interesting. Which is, hey, it's got its place. Sure,
Yeah. I would watch that a little bit.
Check us out a little later. Maybe
Yeah.
you listen to it before you're as you're going to sleep.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't take offense.
Right.
Listen to us later. You don't have to be with us live.
So when you went into your through your door of the 9 doors, and you went through the event horizon into the vestibule, and there are the steps, kind of describe that experience.
It's very vast. It's like a very vast space. Like big. Like ball ceiling. I kind of saw myself on a very narrow path, but it was all darkness around, but not in a bad way. It wasn't scary.
Right.
It was just sort of like
the night sky.
Yeah, I guess so. And it was more of, there wasn't anything necessarily that I was walking into, but I wasn't afraid of the darkness.
Right. Because it was just the night sky.
It was more of, I was sort of walking into the unknown, but it wasn't fearful. It was just kind of like, I guess it was telling me I'm not at the end of the road yet.
Right. The universe is still all around you, and you have a lot to check out.
Just keep going.
Right. Just keep going. Yep.
It's not over. You may not recognize what's going on ahead of you, but just keep going.
So, in your experience of being when you stepped off of the gold, the last step of the gold brick onto the terra firma of your sanctuary, what was your guide? I described your mind as a little black Jesus, Jiminy Cricket.
I kind of tapped into that. Yeah, I didn't necessarily see anything from my particular guide. It was more of a presence. And I kind of anchored into Metatron again.
Right.
Following the will of God. and knowing that you're safe. And it was funny as I came out of the meditation, I'm messing with my phone, looking at the text message. My church lady friends, they were always chiming in with each other, and one of them, like people will put a statement, they'll say, "Oh, I like whatever you said." Somebody put a heart in and said, "Jesus says you're safe."
And what were the experiences of your vacation? What did you go bowling or swimming or hang gliding or what?
Like chilling in the woods, in a meadow, nice sun, laying down in the grass. Beat up kind of shack in the background. It was just chill. Nothing special.
Did you experience?
Special for me.
Did you experience going up on the gazebo?
I saw the gazebo in the distance. I came towards it, and it was cool. There was a lot of light emanating from it. I didn't go inside of it, but I did see it on the horizon.
Did you ask a question?
I didn't. I don't remember if I asked a question.
Okay, that's for another time.
I didn't even feel an urgency to ask a question.
Okay, good.
I was just
And then you came back, and that was an easy journey, and you gave thanks and respect to your guides, and all of that went nice and smoothly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you completed the whole circle, and so, like I said, now it's time. Practice makes perfect. So you've experienced it well, and that is what it is, and it's up on the channel here. And again, later this afternoon, you and your wife can sit in the comfortable seats or lie down and have the experience together. And then when you do that, it's quite interesting because then you have someone else to interact with in state, and also, so what did you feel? What did you see? Blah blah blah. It's a really good. I found it when I was counseling couples. I would do that, right? And they're, if they were really having a hard time with each other and being mean and saying bad things, often it was hard for them to do that. But if they were okay and they were just exploring to expand their relationship into something even better, it wasn't a difficult thing to do. Because sometimes, you especially when you first do it and you eliminate, you see all this gook come out of you. It can be a difficult thing for you to face and deal with and do.
No, I like that image. Evacuating. A few years back, I was really going through a lot of stuff. I was treating my coworkers and my bosses really badly. Really being pretty obnoxious and mean. And I had a dream where all this ash kept flowing out of my mouth. I dreamt, it was really weird. Something to do with angels fucking trying to, or angels pulling all this junk out of my body. It kept coming out through my mouth. It was all it was ash. I remember that. There is some sort of quote in the Bible about a mouthful of ash. That's exactly what it says. It's very powerful. I guess at that time in my life, there was a lot of debris that was coming forward. Unfortunately, being directed at inappropriate times. And I didn't exactly have the facility to discharge that stuff in a healthy way as I do now, and you've given me a tool to even further clean house. That's good.
Yep,
also my body is detoxing too.
This is a very simple tool, and it works on emotional, psychic, spiritual, and physical issues.
Yeah, that's good. I need that.
Yep.
Desperately.
Well, we all need that.
We all need it. Yeah. It's true.
It's interesting how
very relaxed.
a lot of people that are given this tool, and it's not like my tool to give. I mean, this tool was given to me. I was just told to share it. That people will, and you can't force them to use the tool.
No.
But it's a very simple thing because I start up, okay, put yourself in a comfortable position. If you can't even do that, when I, have somebody, and see, I never, being a shrink, it's there are a lot of things they do that they shouldn't do, and one of them is they make people lie down on a couch, right? And that right there makes the individual feel very threatened, very vulnerable, very all that, right? But if you put them in a nice, comfortable, like I had you sitting in your reading chair, that was a nice leather cushion, but straight back, you are physically, your body doesn't feel threatened. You can get up, you can move, you can jump, but lying down, not so much.
But I think if somebody's gonna lie down, they want to do it out of their own feeling of safety, not being told to do that. If they feel comfortable to do that, then do it.
Exactly.
Don't necessarily say like lie down.
Right, exactly.
Not a goddamn dog. Lie down, roll over, sit up.
Well, that's how most shrinks treat their patients, like a dog.
Yeah, well, I'm very grateful. Actually, at 4 o'clock, I'm doing my therapy. So,
oh, good.
She's great. But I sought her out like big time. Like a friend recommended. And she's also, been in recovery for decades, has a familiarity with the 12 steps, and she's not an asshole.
Well, you know what? Tell her about this and have her.
Oh, I am. Believe me.
Tell her to go check this one show out.
I will suggest this.
Right. Suggest it, right. Exactly. And I will say to the audience, well, if you like that, why don't you thumbs up, subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, and
more to come.
And more to come. And also go to my PayPal at the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail, because I've all like $3 until next month. But it's interesting when you have no.
Can I plug some stuff too? If you don't mind?
Sure. No, anybody wants to.
If you want to go check out my artwork, it's on the Facebook presence. It's Martyred Artist Facebook page. You can also, my artwork is available on T-shirts. You can look up Martyred Artist on TeePublic. I'm not sure the exact address, but if you go to TeePublic, you root around, Google under Martyred Artist. There's some links within the Facebook page, but you get an idea what my artwork's like. It's all esoteric, occult kind of stuff. You can use it to meditate with, and I think it looks cool. Hopefully you will as well. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to say arrivederci.
All right, brother. Well, thank you very much for your service and helping me and helping us and helping them.
Right. I'm just
good man, Charlie Brown.
Okay, Slim. Love you.
All right.
I'll talk to you later.
Love you too.
Yep.
God bless you.
Yep,
See you. Bye-bye.
So, what did you think of that? I hope you enjoyed it. And again, you can come back and check this out. Use it. It's a tool. I probably won't be doing. I have no idea what I'll be doing. I pretty much have no idea what I'm doing. And don't believe a word I say. And we started out with a little geopolitics, and then we went into the guided meditation, right? And I just wanted to do that to show you the yin and yang, that what's going on. This is the real world over here, and then over here, hey, maybe you can use this to make your world a better place, right? So that's what it's about. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not, you can send me all the, likes and subscriptions. I would really like that. Um, but I have no idea what I'm doing. So I know that there are other mechanisms in putting things on YouTube that get you more views, and I have no idea about that. And that's why I'm reaching out to people like my friend right here, right, Mr. Magic, and that we're going to do another show, where we will mix our two metaphors together and see what we get. Right. So that's my plan, and there's 3 or 4 other folks that I'm planning to reach out that way. Right. So it won't just be Sensei Al Bob, So, and those people have more of a drift on how these mechanisms work. So I'll reach out. But I know I reach out to the people who need, like Mr. Eggplant here, I get out and reach to him or it or her or whatever it is. I have a feeling it's this character that I knew earlier on in the show. His name was You, and and he basically poured his heart out to me, and I wasn't, I'm there to be his sensei, his friend, his counselor, or not even that, just his friend. And he wanted something more, and it's kind of hard to do that. And he came from a very um, you know and I have a lot of people who contact me who are in this position. They don't have to work. They don't have to worry about money. They don't even think about money. So they can't understand that A, I don't have any money, or A, I can't call them on the phone because I haven't been able to put any money on the phone to make it work, or have money to go to the gas to come to a place like this and talk to you. Because I can't afford, having the internet into the woods, right? So all the above. And yesterday was an amazingly beautiful day, just gorgeous, right? And in my woods, so I've been there 20 years, give or take, and this has always been a gorgeous place for fall. I mean, it just wild, crazy colors, brights, and this year, and I've seen this trend, but this year's been big time. And we really haven't. Usually, the leaves get blown off at big storms, and we really haven't had a big storm. We might have one tonight, where we will lose at least a third of the leaves that are still hanging on. And so, but last night, I mean, yesterday, it was sunny. It was a blue sky, and all day long, the leaves were just falling down, and the leaves were green, then they turned black, and they fill up the tree, right, without any real wind. So they were just there was no wind, and they were just sprinkling down, covering me, and I sat there in a lawn chair for a few hours and just watched this. And none of the rich people were there. They were not zipping around on their motorcycles or screaming and yelling and blah blah blah. And I was there all myself. It was just Mr. Bunny and me and the rich people's dogs. They have they want to be holler folk, and so they have a bunch of these blue tick dogs, and they treat them like crap, and so the dogs are a reflection of those people, you know, and selfish, stupid, angry, upset, right, and hungry because these people really don't feed these guys. And so they try to have chickens, and they forget to feed them, and the chickens starve to death. I mean, it's just unbelievable stuff, right? And so the dogs came down, and I'm sitting, and it was quite interesting. They come and visit me, and when I'm sitting, I sit on my deck and I type. But today, I mean, yesterday, I was just sitting on my front lawn watching the leaves fall in this beautiful, beautiful blue sky and this beautiful, beautiful sun, and I was just loving every nanosecond of it, right? And I was in state. So they came down, and I was sitting in this chair, and then I looked up, and they were all just sitting in front of me, right? So um, I had some, I just kind of leaned down and said, "How you doing?" And I came over, and the biggest one kind of put his head on my knee, and I squid, just rubbed his ear, and he kind of was like going, and then the others came over, and I did the same thing. And so they were like all over my legs, drooling while I rubbed their, I didn't give them any food, didn't give them anything, and they weren't normally, they bark all the time, like blue ticks do. And so they stayed there about, half an hour. And then I got up, I wanted to go get myself a drink of water, and I came back a little water for them, and they were gone. And they had gone up the road to the Airbnb people and started barking at them. And they do that a good deal, which then causes the guy who has the place to call the police and get in the face of the Floridian. And he basically ignores them. And, if they give him a summons and give him a court date, it's not good to ignore that, right? So I have no idea what any of that is, but they don't really bother me. They have to go by me, but they never bother me. But once in a while, if I'm sitting out there, they don't stop and bark, 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 bark. But I was just sitting there watching the leaves, and I kind of noticed that they were all sitting in front of me. And the big one came over and started rubbing his head, and he put his head on my ankle, my knee, and then they were all over my legs going, "Ooh." And they weren't barking, and they weren't making a lot of noise. And they just were happy to have me scratch their ears, because the Floridians and the people in that village do not give them any loving attention. They scream at them, they hit them, and so that these dogs, if I stand up, they're skittish. They're like thinking I might hit them or jump on them or kick them or something. But sitting down, I'm not a threat. But it was just a beautiful day yesterday, really exquisite day, right? And so I'm not feeling any, basically how I feel. I've been here for 20 years, right, give or take, and I know I have another path to go. There's 5 or 6 other alternatives for the winter. I've spent the winter out here, and the 3 winters I have spent out here weren't that bad. Maybe 10 to 20 days. It was like 20 degrees during the day and below 0 at night, right? And I just wrapped myself up in my electric blanket, and in those days it didn't. In those days it didn't snow, and my car was in pretty good shape, so I would drive 6 miles to where the general store was and just sit by the fire all day and be on the internet. But now that's gone. Those people sold out to the rich folk, and the rich folk don't have any of that. Right? So it's like their faux version of Cracker Barrel. So anyway, I started this up with a few little, things of what people are going on about the environment in the world and the this and the that, blah, 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 right? And then we went on into the spiritual point of view. And this show basically was the tool for you to be happy. The name of the show is How to Be Happy, kind of, what do you think, blah, blah, blah. So that's where it's at. And I love you guys, but I'm going to, what time is it now? 2:02. I love it when it does that. So I'm going to skip out of here, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow, or maybe I won't. Tuesday, maybe I'll see you. Wednesday, one of those days, I'll do another show, and I'll be there. So again, give some likes and some subscriptions, and if you want to send me something at PayPal, the dudewake42@gmail. You want to get a hold of me, dudewake at gmail, right? And Mr. Eggplant, he kind of sent me something. And it just kind of, I'll give you a good example of what Mr. Eggplant says and does. And so Mr. Eggplant is good. He put down what his thing was, but it says that that's not his real. So he says, I'll give you $1,000 if you poo in your pants on stream. That's why I think it's John Boy, but I don't think so either. I really do think it's Mr. You. What's the other one he gave here? Let's see. It's gonna give you. You're the worst pet ever. So he was like inviting me to stay with him if I could live in a kennel. Okay, but that's so perfect for this show. It is a raison d'etre of the worldview that's out there. Let's see if I can find what he had said. Where is he? He got rid of his last. Yeah, he got rid of the one that he described all the things he wanted me to do to live with him for the winter. But such is human experience, human life. It's what it is. So we're at 156. We're heading towards 156.56, and that's when I'll jump. So, like I said, some thumbs up. I got 3. Thank you very much. And subscribe. That would be nice. And if you want to send something to PayPal, that's the dudeawake42@gmail. And just like Mr. Eggplant, which the guy's name is You. And I used to call him Yo-Yo because he would just do this all the time, up and down, up and down. And his parents were really rich, and he would, be upset that he had a trust and he didn't have to work. But then he said, "There's not enough because I want to do something and I don't, really. You have a trust and you get thousands of dollars a week and it's not enough and there are people starving." And he, when I'd say that stuff to him, he'd say, "It doesn't matter. It's what my life matters. It's all that matters." And that's Mr. Eggplant, bark, bark. That's all that matters. So, okay. It's 56:56. See you later, guys. Love you.